Okay, here it is. Somewhat. We're not done yet. But here's the overall frame structure that I've created for this. I gave it this little detail part here, go on top, and a front detail part here, which I super glued. Some small details here, which technically speaking you're not going to see when the cannons go on. I also placed something over here with this little peg that's super glued. And another layer of styrene sheets. There's this little gap here which I'm going to need to fill that in soon, so that'll be filled up soon. And this little part here is meant for this part, which may or may not be used, but may end up either putting it like this and putting two things on it, whether it's two weaponry or one weaponry and a I'm thinking of like a little center pod thing, kind of like what you see under the nose of the Apache helicopter, maybe something like that. I could do it this way, like just cut this off and then put something here to attach it so it could extend that even further. I haven't figured that out yet, but we'll get to it soon enough. Now, when I cut this, I was kind of like in my mind wanted to do something where it curves inwards, but after realizing some of the gaps here were exposed, and I didn't want to like cut that open to fill in that gap. I said, let me just do it this way, and there is an angle in a way, a very slight, very, very slight angle, which you can barely see. Keeping it like this looks good, I like that, but from here it's obviously a rectangle. Here was the one of a bit of a challenge, because I did cut the spacing going inwards. I didn't saw that out, I just did it right over it, and then I sealed it up, going all the way around. But that, as you can see, is done right there. Now, we're not done yet, obviously, but there's more to this. And I've been thinking about what I can put on this, stuff. What can I cake on this that will give it much more detail? And I came across this, and I'm going to cut this off right now because I think I'm going to use this. This is one of the thruster parts that you can put thrusters on. So let me just remove this here, and that, and that. And I'll sand this down in a few moments, but I think this will fit perfectly on this, like that. And something like that there. Now I know this is meant for a thruster, but I'm not going to put a thruster. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking of either putting in a radiator type setup, like a vent. I've seen many people do customization of vents. I have a lot of parts for vents, like something like this, but that's a little too wide. It would have been nice if it's this way. I have a lot of styrene sheets that I can actually make a pattern and just begin to cake a layer of like a radiator type setup to put right under here. That's what I'm thinking of doing. But I think that fits perfectly there. Now, since this isn't an angle, it's not going to hit the cannon, but I'm going to put something here, and I have these parts. These are the armored parts that Bandai released for Gundam kits, and kind of like how it's in this angle, so I'm going to put this right there so it looks like that. I can actually probably do this, like put that there and then bring this up a tad. There we go, like something like that. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna probably end up super gluing that. That's kind of cool. I like that. So yeah, I got these two. Don't know what I'm gonna put on the front. I had an idea. I have two ideas. Maybe you guys can fill in the blanks for me. I'm trying to find the part. Oh, well, first thing I have are these, right? I'm not putting it on the front because I have this detail there. What I was thinking of, like, first I'm gonna right here, like, put this part here. That pretty much seals up the entire detail from around here and here. On the top, I'm trying to figure that out. Maybe put like a rib type setup. Maybe put like layer, you know, cut up more styrene sheets, and cake it on like sectional type things. I don't know yet. I don't want it. I don't want like a lot of stuff on this. Yet I do, because I don't want to keep it all just a flat surface. Something that will give it a more detail. I do have. I mean, I can actually put stuff like this on it. There is these little gaps. These little vent type things that has nothing in it. It's you can see right through it. So I may end up putting it here, somewhat. I don't know. We'll figure that out. On the side, let me see here. I had something here which I don't know where I put it. Oh, there it is. So I was actually thinking maybe put this on top in there, like a little hole, like something that's sticking out, like that. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to cut that and see. I'm gonna cut a little bit off, but not too much because I gotta sand it down. But something like that, right there. And of course, I'm going to put something there. Maybe one of these guys. I don't know. I have some other Kotobukiya parts. Oh, I also have these rivets, which I can probably. Well, as you know, this is stuff that you have to use a very, very thin blade, like my Olaf knife, to slice it off and then apply it in specific areas to give it like the rivets type things. That could work on this. I can try to flesh that out and see if I can do that. Yeah, we're almost done with this. I just need to figure these things out, and then I have to layer some parts here, like this hole here. The part that I removed from here, I'm going to put it back on. It will look good there. Give it the detail. As for the cannons, I put this part here on it. I'm not going to make it raise or lower the guns. I'm going to keep it straight like that because unfortunately there's nothing there to hold this up, and then I have nothing to put it in, so it's going to be solid. That's why I put super glue on this. I sand it down. There were these little holes here that I was actually thinking of maybe covering it up either with this or maybe with photo etch parts, but then I forgot that once you put that in here like this, I'm going to put it on, the only thing you'll see is this. You won't see nothing else there. Let's get the other one. Now, I'm going to show you a picture, because when I did this, it reminded me. Hold on a second, I got to check something here. Yeah, the alignment's okay. When I did this, it reminded me of a I think it was like a coastal battery type thing. You know what? You're gonna have to forgive me. I completely forgot the name of this toy that they released from Kenner. Is it Kenner or Hasbro? I completely forgot. But here's a picture of what it looks like, and here it is, almost identical to it. Where you could put the figure inside, and it had its own little wheels, and If you had a vehicle, you can tow it. So I said to myself, wow, I didn't realize I just did this. I did exactly like this. Makes me want to change the name, but then again, no, that's not the intention. Yeah, that, pretty cool. I'm actually thinking of gutting this. I am. I can put them on easily with no problem. Just gotta make sure that they go in. And set them into place. But I'm seriously considering gutting this because I think maybe it needs it needs more work. The connections needs more work. It does. It is even to a point, because then you have these little notches there that actually hit it, or it's not. Yeah, you could say that it's not even, but then again, I think what I may end up doing is putting in another plot plate, another styrene sheet circle there, cover where the hole is, so it sticks out. It is in an even position. But other than that, that is very cool. What do you guys think of that? Well, let us not forget the tank treads here. We're gonna have to give some love to this as well. I focused all the work on the upper body. The lower body, we haven't done anything. I removed the catch here, but I may end up putting it back on. I have an idea which I'm trying to flesh out right now. We'll get back to that in a moment. I don't know about this one as well. I may leave that there. I may put like specific plating on top of it. Maybe the plating like this going there, and something around here. I'm not 100% sure. There is one thing that I was thinking of doing, and that is increasing the detail on the actual track itself, putting in much more heavier emphasis of maybe adding a layer of plot plate on each individual tracks to give it like a more traction-like look to it. That's an idea that I'm thinking. I have these parts here that needs to be sanded down, so that I have to work on. But I've been thinking about about this. As much as I like this design, I've always liked the designs of tanks where they put like heavy armor over the entire tread suspension. Obviously not to get hit, so that way it adds to that look to it. So I said to myself, what can go on this? And I have this styrene sheet that I cut myself and measured to look like this, that goes right on top of that. This styrene sheet is, technically speaking, and I'm trying to remember the actual sizes. I think this is 2. Yeah, this is 2 millimeters. This is a 2 millimeter styrene sheet. This thing is as hard as a rock. I had a hard time cutting this. The chopping block was not going to cut this off. Actually, it actually cut this off to a degree, but I had to use the hobby knife to slowly cut, slowly until I got halfway, and then I snapped it. I have this block right here. This is actually 3 millimeter. This thing is stronger than you could think of. Actually, that 3 millimeter one is the one that I actually used as the base to hold up the Death Star base that I made a year ago. Was it a year ago? I think it was. Yeah, I think it was a year ago. But I decided to use this 2 millimeter one, and I have another one here, which I put. Oh, here it is, right here. So I did the design like that. I'm not done yet because I'm thinking of either like etching something to look like individual panels. It's like something that cuts through there, and something. I think I'm going to try to do scribing on this. But how to get it on this is another thing. I'm just not going to simply glue it on like that and hope for the best. That's kind of a little redundant for me, and maybe not a good idea. Instead, I did this. I put on these circle points here, as hard points for the plates to go on it. So this would go like that. Now it's in an angle there because apparently this one's a little higher, so I'm going to have to sand this down a bit. Actually, I'm going to sand this down now. Oh yeah, that's good. Maybe a little bit more, but that's good. These little parts that I cut, these are 3mm wave parts, these, and I used this part that I actually finally got a chance to use this tool, this cutting tool for the for circular styrene sheets. So yeah, I took care of that. I have all the styrene sheets here to glue on the other side, but I'm trying to test fit this first. I'm actually thinking of getting something as a guide so I can slide them in. I thought I had 4mm or 5mm circle styrene sheets, cylinder styrene sheets you could say, but I think I don't have any more. I think I might have used them all up in the previous build that somebody probably remember. But I can figure this out, you know. And I'm also going to use these plates here to cover up the inside, so that way you don't see it. As a matter of fact, let me just look at this first. This is actually 3mm, but I just want to make sure that. Oh no, this thing is a little too thick. You know what? I'm glad I didn't cut this. Alright, I may have to get the other one and test it out. Yeah, this is good.